Hey there, folks. It is Rob, and welcome back to the ABCs of Horror Challenge. If you haven't seen my previous videos, definitely check them out. I've done the letter A, B, C, and D, and right now we are on the letter E. And really quick, if you want to participate in the ABCs of Horror Challenge, you can. You can start anytime you want to. It is a challenge that doesn't have a time limit. You basically just have to get through the entire alphabet. You can't skip any letters. You have to start from A and go all the way to Z. Pick out a movie that starts with a certain letter that you're on, review it, and move on to the next. Definitely participate if you feel like you want to. So for the letter E, I decided to pick a movie that probably no one has heard of. And this was a first-time watch for me, and I actually enjoyed it. So for the letter E, I picked The Ecstasy of Isabel Mann. Now, I first saw this film on the shelves at Family Video before they closed. Rest in peace, Family Video. They were kind of like Blockbuster, but better, in my opinion. This was the last copy on the shelf when they were getting rid of their inventory, and I snatched it. So what sold me on this was the cover. I just think that cover is just gruesome and just badass. It says vampires, daylight, and a young girl changing. It was directed by Jason Figgis, I think that's how you say it. Stars Helen Mullen, Neil Fleming, and Matthew Toman. This is only getting a 2.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which I think is really cruel. This movie is not bad at all. Is it the greatest movie ever? No. Is it the greatest vampire movie ever? No, not even close. I know some people don't care for the vampire genre. I'm not the biggest fan of vampire movies, but this one right here is very, very different from any kind of vampire movie you've ever seen. And I'm not even exaggerating. It is very different. Some might think it's boring. Some might think it's a slow burn. And I would say it's a character study of the main actress a little bit. The vampires are not even the main issue here. In fact, they don't really talk about the vampires much at all, which I think is good because it kind of leaves it to the imagination. Where did these vampires come from? How did it start? Like, who are these people? It really kind of leaves it alone to make you kind of wonder. But this movie came out in 2012 in Ireland first. And then it didn't get a United States release until 2016. But I still think that score is way too low. So basically, you have this girl named Isabel Mann who is seduced by a violent group of day-walking vampires. Now, yes, that's right, day-walkers. Kind of like Blade. Her classmates start to go missing, and these two detectives are on the case, and they start to notice like things are kind of weird. Like they start interviewing people, trying to get an idea of what's going on, and these, girls and even a couple boys too, go missing into the woods where these vampires are tying them to the tree, to like these certain trees, and then, drinking their blood. Now, here's what I want to say. How this is different from any other vampire movie is that what they show here is kind of like grisly vampire attacks. And I don't mean like ripping off their heads and drinking their blood. I'm talking about when a vampire bites your neck, they really go for it here. You can hear that, like the the sounds of them drinking the blood, and it's just really raw and gruesome. The people are covered in blood, and you can see their facial expressions when it's happening. It makes it really kind of like grisly. It just they did such a good job with the effects and the just the acting in general of somebody getting bit. I mean, it just seems like it hurts. But yeah, there's like blood everywhere. That they did such a good job. And I've read reviews on that very same thing where people are saying that, they're kind of applauding them for the effects, and what they did. Um, but yeah, they start to kill people in the nearby woods, and Isabel Mann is aided by a head vampire, which you kind of see in the beginning, and you kind of see a little bit throughout, but you don't know anything about this vampire and these others. Like, you just don't know anything. It kind of shows a short glimpse of how Isabel kind of gets seduced, I guess you could say, but it doesn't go into detail. And again, I like that. It leaves it kind of mysterious. They talk about Isabel's mother, who they label it as Isabel's lost mother, but it turns out she's an early recruit. And there's a scene where she kind of appears to her in her bedroom, which was kind of eerie. The acting and the cinematography are great. The atmosphere is great. And the use of music, which was also another positive that people were saying, is that the music choices and when they used it was great. And I agree. This kind of harsh, eerie tone, when certain scenes would happen in the woods, and like, the girl who played Isabel Mann is just great. Like, her face, she seems kind of just like a robot, almost. Like, she's just so still. Like, you just, like, nothing bothers her. You can tell she's kind of changing throughout, because there's flashbacks of her having fun, being a great teenager, and then all of a sudden she turns into this different person. But like, you can see her transformation throughout the film. You can see how she changes as a person. Something's definitely wrong with her. She's trained in the art of the kill. And that's basically the movie. I'm not really spoiling anything here, but I don't know. I like the transformation. And they don't really, like I said, they don't really go into the vampire lore. They don't go into the vampire stuff really at all. It's almost like I want to say like a movie about homicides, like a detective film almost. But it's much deeper. It really is. It's not like your typical vampire movie where they just go crazy, start ripping limbs off, and which I do like. Don't get me wrong. But this is something that you've probably never seen before in this type of way. But then again, guys, this is one I would recommend. Definitely check it out if you can find it. I'm not really sure how much it is online. If you were to order it, I'm like I said, I picked this one up at Family Video. It was only like $5.95 when I got it. But yeah, it's really good. Like, people, I guess maybe people were just bored with it. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but if you're into kind of like a character story and seeing somebody go from, normal to kind of crazy or just weird, definitely, I think you might dig this one. So anyway, that's my review of The Ecstasy of Isabel Mann. Definitely check it out. And that is my letter E pick. So stay tuned for the next ABCs of Horror Challenge video. where I'm going to pick a movie for the letter F. And also check out Joe the Horror Man, his video, as well as Jason Horrific Nightmares JM, Rusting Willpower, Kelly Kinney. All of them are doing the ABCs of Horror Challenge, and many others. So, if, like I said in the beginning, if you want to participate, there's plenty of time. There's no time limit, so you can start whenever. But yeah, tell me what you think of this movie down in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.